Bob Jones III has apologized for saying that it's a good idea to stone gays nearly 35 years ago. If you don't remember Bob Jones, he's this dude. We have a picture of him.
He's this dude. Okay.
Now,
Hey, dude.
now Bob Jones is of Bob Jones University fame. Apparently, 35 years ago, he was giving a speech at the White House about gay people, and he said some pretty terrible things. He said the following: "But it would not be a bad idea to bring the swift justice today that was brought in Israel's day against murder and rape and homosexuality." I like how he grouped those three together.
Yeah,
right? They're all the same. "I guarantee it would solve the problem post-haste if homosexuals were stoned, if murderers were immediately killed as the Bible commands."
So it's hard to say that you were quoted out of context. You said homosexuals would be stoned, should be stoned, and that would solve the problem. So it wasn't like maybe kind of legalese. No, they should be stoned, and then we won't have any problems with these kind of sinners like rapists and homosexuals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, he said that 35 years ago, and because of the magic of the internet, people saw it, or they heard about it, and they were outraged about it. So there is an organization known as BJ Unity.
It's for Bob Jones. It's people in the LGBT community that made the mistake of going to to Bob Jones University.
Yes.
So they've unified, and that's why they're in favor of BJ Unity.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with BJ Unity. I like BJ Unity.
I love BJ Unity.
Okay. So they created a change.org petition pressuring him to apologize for these statements he made 35 years ago. And guess what? It worked. So here's his apology. "I take personal ownership of this inflammatory rhetoric. This reckless statement was made in the heat of a political controversy 35 years ago. Upon now reading these long-forgotten words, they seem to me as words belonging to a total stranger, were my name not attached."
That's the part where he loses me. Look, it's okay to say I said it a long time ago. I was all worked up and it was wrong. That's good. That's an apology. Nothing wrong with that. Long forgotten words. You didn't really forget that
You still hate gay people.
Right. I mean, we'll get to that in a second, but you didn't forget that you said, let's stone the gay people to death. And why are you apologizing now? For two reasons. One, because they brought it up 3 years ago. They started this petition, and it's bothering you. The other reason is because now, all of a sudden, you realize, oh, the guys that are in the news stoning people to death are ISIS. And so, oops, it's bad PR because I look like ISIS, which is kind of what we've been advocating for all along, just on the Christian side.
So let me give you more of his apology. He says, "I cannot erase them. But I wish I could because they do not represent the belief of my heart or the content of my preaching. Neither before nor since that event in 1980 have I ever advocated the stoning of sinners."
So, first of all, I don't believe that you never advocated before immediately after. Like, that was the one slip up. When he went to the White House, it's not like, oh, dude, I was just talking to, Sally down the street, and I said that and I was worked up that day.
Yeah.
You wrote a speech, you went and delivered it to the President of the United States.
Yeah, you were like, "What's up, Carter? I think we should stone gays."
Right. There's nothing more that you considered before doing something than when you were giving a speech to the president. So I don't believe him on that count. Second of all, look at what he says at the end. I mean, I never advocated that kind of punishment for the sinners. So still, they're the sinners. And, oh, that's not in my heart. What do you mean that's not in your heart? No, of course it is. Like, nobody accidentally says, "I'd like to stone you to death." It's not a slip of the tongue. It's not like, "Oh, my heart is pure and I would I don't agree with your lifestyle or your choices or anything, but my heart says to hug you and to make it better and to work with you." Oops, I slipped a little bit, and instead I said to murder you by throwing stones at your head. It's not a shade of gray there, right?
Yeah.
It's not, no. Your heart was murderous and fundamentalist. You wanted to kill all those people. Now it doesn't look good. So all of a sudden you say, "Oh, my bad. I mean, I still hate the sinners, but I guess we shouldn't have killed them," right?
Yeah. Now that you've made your serious points about Bob Jones, I'd like to share some fun things about Bob Jones that I didn't know about. So he is referred to as a doctor, right? I hate when people are referred to as doctors just because they have a PhD. I think doctors who do medical work should be called doctors, and that's it.
It's not disrespecting PhD people. We should just come up with a different title.
Yeah, I 100%
Incredible
agree.
respect for
Yes.
people with PhD.
Yeah, getting a PhD is extremely difficult, lots of respect. But when you say doctor, you think someone's actually a doctor.
Yeah.
Anyway, nonetheless. So he's referred to as doctor, but he got both of his degrees from Bob Jones University. When your name is Bob Jones and you got your degrees from Bob Jones University, it doesn't count. It doesn't count, okay?
What is he, Pastor Manning?
I know, exactly. Exactly.
Well, and I got good news for you. Just yesterday, Cenk Uygur University gave me a degree of being awesome.
Amazing.
I have a PhD in awesome from Cenk Uygur University.
Yeah. So he has a history of apologizing for things that he said in the past. Now, back in the day, he was livid with Reagan because of his relationship with George H.W. Bush, right? And he was like, George H.W. Bush is a piece of shit. Now, he didn't say it like that, but that's what he implied. And then after George H.W. Bush served his presidency, right, he was like, I kind of like him. So he met up with him and actually apologized for being a dick.
That's funny, because George H.W. Bush and Reagan, by supporting him, were too liberal for Bob Jones.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And of course, all the former Republican nominees used to go speak at Bob Jones University and kiss his ring, including George W. Bush, the son, of course, of George H.W. Bush, until people started making a big deal out of the fact that, hey, you know what? Bob Jones University does not allow interracial dating. Okay, so that was all the way up to Bush's speech, and so all the way up to after Bush's speech, it received a lot of attention. And in the year 2000, they finally succumbed. I don't know if he even apologized, but like, we're gonna let the white girls date the black guys?
Yeah, Bob Jones University did not let interracial couples date within the university. So if you're a black student and a white student, you're not able to, you can't do that.
Until the year 2000. Not like 1965, not like, it took a really long time, to 1970s like it did with the Mormons to realize that black people were not made of the devil, right? But all the way to the year 2000, after they got a lot of PR flack, they're like, oh, God damn it. All right, we really don't want you to date the black guys. And by the way, it has nothing to do with white guys dating black girls.
Right.
Okay, that has to do with white women dating black guys, right? And they're like, we don't suggest it, but okay, bad PR, sure, fine, whatever. Don't do it, right? And now, all of a sudden, again, Bob Jones found his clean heart. He said, my bad, man. I guess we shouldn't murder all the gays. Yet another misunderstanding at Bob Jones University. I'm beginning to wonder if their PhDs are really worth anything.
Yeah.